Hello everyone and welcome back to Inferno. In the previous episode we mostly worked on our ore processing system here to give us the materials required for the endgame. We set up some occultism miners to give us resources, and using a combination of occultism crushers and create crushers we process all of that into ingots and gems. Hold on a second, let's hide from the Lords of Inferno again. It's like clockwork at this point, every 2 hours we hide from this portal here. There it is, and 3 seconds it's gonna be gone. Easy. You may remember that we also began the upgrade process to the Tier 4 University, a very necessary upgrade to unlock the next stages of progression. Once we have Tier 4 we can then upgrade to Tier 5, we've beat all the bosses required in order to upgrade the university, and I really want to rush the Neutron Collector to start making Neutronium. Neutronium, as I pointed out last episode, is extremely slow, so I want to get that going, and after that we can start to work on the mine colony to bring it up to the standard that it really should be at this point in the game. And potentially we can also start to work on the Infinity Catalyst with all the Singularities. So yeah, we have a lot to get through this episode, let's get started. And actually we can immediately start here with the university. Gabriel has just finished this within the last 2 minutes. A bit quicker than I expected actually. So now that we have Tier 4 we should have unlocked the next tier of technology. Actually I think it's under unlockables. Yeah, Tier 1 is Infernal Insights, Tier 2 is Infernal Delights, Infernal Mastery, and Tier 4 is Eldritch Transcendence. We need 1 antimatter crystal, and again we get a massive buff to the citizens here, look at this. Miners find 500% more ores, that is crazy. And actually the last one is even better, look at that. Wait, did we get the research? We did get the research, alright. So check in the quest book now, the next quest is to kill the Void Worm, which in fact we've already beat twice. However, this quest was recently added and the pack developer actually accounted for this, so we don't need to kill the Void Worm again to get the quest. We should be able to use his eye. Inside the smithing table with some fake bedrock, we can craft the Arc of Eldritch Transcendence. Crafting the Arc of Eldritch Transcendence should complete this quest automatically. Isn't this isn't this what we have? Let's try dropping it again. Okay. Okay, I've just been informed this is a bug. We're gonna go into editing mode. I never ever do this, but I want to do this on camera. We're gonna complete this instantly since we've already beat the Void Worm. And let's take off editing mode. It should be fixed here pretty soon, I'm told. Now that we've got that quest, we should have also unlocked the next game stage. And well, we can go home. We have been trapped in this nether for weeks at this point. It feels like we've been here forever. Honestly, I don't know what to expect on the other side of this. Let's do it. Take me back. Wait, where are we? Frozen Peaks. This is not where I expected to be. Okay, first off, let's add a waypoint. Where on it? Cave spiders? Why is there cave spiders here? Oh, there's a spawner. That's why. There's a cave spider spawner here. These guys are extremely tanky. What on earth? Okay, there is way too many. Look at this. Okay, get me out of here. What is going on? Oh, hello, Blitz. There's a lot of mobs here. Wow, these guys are so tanky. Yeah, this is quite a nice spawn, actually. This is really not too bad. A grove biome. Is this a village? Oh, is this mine colonies? Is this the guard tower from mine colonies? I think it might be. I guess it's not my mine colony, though, so I can't access them. Oh, and the shaders. Look at this. Yeah, this is awesome. This is pretty cool. Unfortunately though, we are not quite finished here in the nether. That's about all the daylight we're going to get for a while. It's quite nice that we have access to the overworld, though I don't know what exactly that's going to bring in terms of benefits, other than getting some daylight every now and then. But the whole reason we went there is to get the recipe for the extreme crafting table. This was previously hidden for us. It would have been cool if you had to find this somehow. I don't know if they could implement that, but that would have been awesome. Anyways, compressed crafting table, easy enough. We also need 8 ingots of crystal matrix. And this is where we have to use the Tinker's Smeltery and Foundry. Yeah, we're gonna melt some obsidian here and make some panes. Oh yeah, by the way, I have some hoppers underneath here, which all go into the triple white ender chest. Triple white is connected to this interface here, so everything goes back to our AE system. So that should make it pretty easy to automate, actually. We can make a scorched chute. The chute here is for automatic item input and output from the smeltery, or foundry in this case. And I appear to have lost the card holder. Where did that thing go? That's the problem with late game when you get to so many items in your backpacks and you don't know where anything is. It almost makes it easier just emptying everything out here. Like, this doesn't help us at all. You guys see it? You know, this hiding place isn't exactly ideal with the lava here. There's the portal. So what we're going to do with this foundry is entangle this chest here, connect that up over here to a pattern provider, and entangle it. So for us to make crystal matrix, we need diamond lattice, and this is made by pouring a block of diamond over netherite mesh. We are going to encode a recipe which looks like this, and instead of the fluid, we're going to use a full block of diamond, and we'll just melt it in the smeltery. There is other ways to do this now that we have fluid crafting, but we're going to do it this way, the old school way. So the pattern goes in the pattern provider. That's going to send both the items into this chest. We have to separate them so that the netherite mesh goes in the basin. We can do that with a basic filler on an insert card on the northern face, and then connected to the chute, we also want an item insert filtered for the diamond block. And then we can just have this clock running on the faucet, and that should pour everything out. We can simulate a recipe being requested if we put items in the chest manually, and I think we have to connect the lasers together. Oh, that's right, this can't be melted this way. I completely forgot about that actually. Yeah, we need blazing blood, which is magma and life essence. Oh, well, that was a bit of an oversight. Let me fix this. Alright, I fixed it. I think it's working now. Yes, the diamond block is being melted. I just filled like 3 full tanks of blazing blood back here, and we're missing blackstone up there. So with the foundry fixed, we can encode a recipe for crystal matrix, 4 diamond lattice, and 2 nether stars. We're 7 nether stars short. I have a feeling there's some in the drawer though. There's 34 here, perfect. Alright, so there we have it, the extreme crafting table, which should be a quest. And we should be able to pick up the neutron collector. And the quest, now let the waiting begin. Yeah, as we can see in the tooltip, do not attempt to time in a bottle. I don't actually know exactly what happens when we try, but I'm not up for trying. I don't want to lose this thing. Wait a minute, the quest bit gives us a free neutron collector? Okay, I ain't gonna complain at that. So these things don't take any power, they just run on their own. The neutron collector only gives us a pile of neutrons every 3 minutes. 9 piles of neutrons makes a nugget, 9 nuggets makes an ingot, and we need a lot of ingots here for the infinity set. So I don't think 2 is going to cut it, but at least the process here is started.
I wish you knew what power you have over me, but now it's so hard to breathe. Just get me out of here.
Get me out of this place. There is too many mobs here. I think most of it is all lit up, but we're here for Demonite. Right? That's what it's called? I almost wonder if this is affected by Fortune, which we don't have on our pickaxe here. It might be worth going to get Fortune. I have got quite a collection of tools here in a lot of these chests, but I don't know if any of them have Fortune on. I mean, we should have a lot of levels to enchant, so we can probably get it quite easily. Alright, so we got ourselves a Vengeance pickaxe from EvilCraft. Fortune 5, let's see what we get. 3. That was 1 again. 1 again. Maybe it doesn't work, or maybe our luck is just terrible. I really dislike the fact you can't break spawners. Yeah, there's the trick with the soul shards, but I didn't bring any. We actually don't need too much of this stuff, so hopefully we can get what we need from this room. We got 34 total. We can cook all this up into Hellforged ingots. I believe we already have some in our AE system. We have 14 already. And with at least 4 blocks here, we can add them to the corners of the blood altar and upgrade to the 5th and final tier. I think we can verify with the divination sigil. Yeah, it's hard to see. There is a tiny little 5 in the corner there. Perfect. So we're going to try to address the fact that our nether star production isn't exactly where it should be. We were previously gated by the fact that we need Neutronium. It does only cost 1 though, and we can craft the ultimate stew, one of the best foods in the game. Wait a second. Do we have a desync? Wait, did we just dupe those items? Yeah, I don't think we're supposed to have 8 of these things. We'll throw 4 away. And the other 4 we can actually use inside the tier 5 blood altar. I think it's 25,000 LP. And we got the first creative item, the creative blood drop. We can make more. Do we want more? I don't know. So the creative blood drop, as you can see, has infinite amounts of EvilCraft blood. Something that we were previously lacking on for the spirit furnace here to farm nether stars. Looks like we got 2 more since the start of this episode. I think there was 10 in here last episode. And I'm logged in here for many hours, so 10 across 1 episode is just not enough. I'm still not exactly sure how we pipe in and out of this thing. I thought it was through the controller block since that's how we were previously inputting blood through the tank. So maybe we just have to manually empty this. I mean, there is 4 slots on the output. Anyways, by giving it the creative blood drop, we infinitely fill this thing with blood, and we don't have to rely on the bees anymore. Let's actually replace this tank though, just as a buffer for the bees, just so we're not wasting it. Oh, I heard the wither. I heard the wither there, right? Yeah, we got 3. I mean, it's decently fast. I wonder if velocity would be better than productivity. It definitely looks like there is some sort of a cap on the blood transfer rate. I don't know, we're gonna leave it for now and see how many we get in 1 hour. In the meantime though, we have a bit of problem solving to do. And it relates to FTB industrial contraptions. Where are all these... Oh, that's where they are. Okay, so our next quest is to make the Infinity Catalyst. And for the Infinity Catalyst, we need 8 different types of singularities. We are going to come back to the fact that we need mechanical crafters to craft these, and focus on the super dense plating right here. It's the same for all of them, it just depends on which material. This one is nickel, diamond, quartz, emerald, tin, lapis, lead, and redstone. Super dense is made from compressing dense plates, and the regular dense plates is from 9 dust, gems, or ingots, depending on the material. So there are 12 different types of singularities here, which means 12 different compressors. Or should we do 24? I guess we need to double compress here. We can't make the advanced compressor, it has no recipe, apparently it's work in progress. So we're stuck with these basic ones. Yeah, maybe let's just do 24. Have at it, Applied Energistics. I have a feeling this is going to take forever. Alright, so 24 compressors. Let's start hooking these things up. The first thing we should consider is the power. And of course, all FTBIC machinery takes zaps to run. We don't really have an ideal way to generate a large amount of zaps right now. I mean, besides our nuclear reactor, which, come to think of it, we may actually use because we're at 10,000 antimatter. I don't see us using that much. And this thing is actually turned off right now. Ideally, we want to aim for the creative battery, which will give us infinite power, but this takes a full infinity block, and we ain't getting this anytime soon. One of the other changes they made to the latest patch is that they added flux networks to this pack. The flux networks, as you probably know, is a way to wirelessly transport energy around. Across dimensions, we need flux cores, flux plugs, and flux points. One more recipe I think we need here. The Lords of Inferno aren't happy about this again. There's the portal. Yeah, the addition of the flux networks is a very welcome change, and we don't ever have to deal with these tesseracts again. And in fact, you know what? Along with the addition of the flux networks though, they also buffed the alternator. So this previously generated 256 RF. It's now at 8,200, which is huge. So we're going to add a flux plug. This is how we import RF into the system. We'll create a new network. We'll give it the blue channel, I guess. And then behind our compressors here, we can add the flux point, also connected to the same network. And then whenever we plug in our transformer here, we should see this fill up with RF. We're going to transform into an LV battery box, and then plug this into our machines, and they should all receive power. Yeah, they've filled up here very, very slowly. I'm well aware we're plugging LV into 24 machines here, but we're going to fix it, don't worry. Let's at least get this operational though. So the next thing we have to concern ourselves with is the channels on this line right here on the right hand side. There's 13 in use. We need at least 14 channels. So yeah, we have at least 14 with some to spare. Let's extend along this wire here. Remember, these transfer 32 channels in Inferno, up from the default of 8. So what we're going to do here is have 2 interfaces to supply the items. Actually, let's put the flux cable underneath. And so inside the interfaces, we want to supply all the items we need for the singularities. There's a way to multi-search in JEI, right? I think it's with this. Yeah, and you can search 2 different terms at once. That's an awesome feature. It also works in Applied Energistics, by the way. I don't know what this symbol is. It's not an I. It's next to the Z on a UK keyboard. Don't ask me where it is on the American one. But this way it allows us to drag things into the interface, so we need iron ingots. The next one is gold, so we can change this to gold. And we'll stock 64 of each. We filled up the first interface here, that's why we have 2. The last 3 are silver, lead, and diamonds. Alright, so we now have all the materials we need here for the singularities. Now we have to put them inside the machines. But only 12 of the machines, because the second lot of machines underneath are going to be for the super dense plating. And you know we're going to use lasers for this, absolutely. The only issue is actually blaze rods for all of the item cards. Like if we try to order... Okay, well, we can get 12, but we need more than 12. We need at least 24, right? And we're short some blaze and some wool. I noticed though there's a recipe in EvilCraft actually to use blood to convert bones into blaze rods. So I'm going to encode this recipe actually. That's going to go in this pattern provider for the blood infuser. And because of the way we have this set up, I actually have a filter on the extract. I was finding that it was actually pulling out the input item, even though the extract was underneath. And of course we have infinite blood now, so we can basically get as many item cards as we need. The lack of wool I think was just because it was trying to pick one color, and we have a variety of different colors here from our sheep farm. I've also just realized that this configuration is not going to work for us. I think we have to raise these machines up. And I think they're going to have to sit above these machines, because we need an extra block of space. Yeah, we'll have to move the power cable up as well. I'm actually, to be honest with you, I'm not sure if this power situation is going to work like this. We'll soon find out, I guess. Okay, so what we need to do now is have some lasers on the top set of machines, so here. And finally, one more laser connected to both of these interfaces. I just realized we're gonna need at least 24 filters for this as well. I mean, fortunately, the filters are much cheaper than the laser cards. I'm starting to kinda regret not putting these things from the engineer's workbench on passive. Thank you, Isabella. Because yeah, these automated ones are extremely slow. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is awful. Okay, so now we want to hook all the lasers together. Hopefully everything is gonna be in range here. I think so. And we just go through the list here. So the first one is gonna be diamond. Make sure the laser cards are all on facing down, or whatever side the machine is, basically. Next one is silver, and then lead, and you get the idea, right? Yeah, now that everything has a filter, we can add the extraction cards, and that should start to fill our machines up here. Yeah, looks like it picked silver first for some reason. We're getting silver dense plating. We have to transfer that into the second compressor, and I'm really hoping that the ejector upgrade works here. Yeah, so the ejector will automatically send the items into an adjacent inventory, but because we have them squeezed up here, I really don't want this compressor sending it to the left or the right. It should really send it always down, and that applies to them all, so there is actually a priority, which I've brought up before. I don't remember what exactly the priority is though. Oh, we're in trouble. It's right, then back, left, front, top, then bottom. So it's going to send it to the right hand side first. If it can't send it there, then the back, then the left, etc. And the way we need it to go to the bottom is last on the priority list. Yeah, we are in big trouble here. Alright, actually, I think I know how we fix this thing. So it's definitely been more than an hour since we set up the creative blood drop in the spirit furnace, and we're now at 58 nether stars, and actually the time in a bottle works on this thing. So I was thinking that we were going to have to build multiple of these. I don't actually think that's going to be the case. 59. It is true that we need slightly more nether stars than infinity catalysts, and I was doing some counting on that front actually. I think I arrived at the 2 stack number. So for 2 stacks of infinity catalysts, we need 1 of each singularity. The singularities are made with 8 super dense plating, and so for 2 stacks of singularities, that's going to be 1024 super dense plating. We have the drawers currently limited with a downgrade, an iron upgrade, and a gold upgrade, which gives us 12 stacks of storage, which is slightly less than 1024. But remember, there will still be some stuff in the internal buffer of the machines, and we don't all need it buffered all at once. But yeah, I think I got the system figured out. So first of all, I moved the top set of machines back down to their original location. Then, instead of the ejector upgrades, we're using the lasers. So this top laser also has an extra extraction card, and it's also connected down to the bottom one, which also has an insertion card in here, filters for dense plating. So the top one makes dense gold plates, the bottom one makes super dense gold plates. So basically the laser takes it from the top machine, puts it in the bottom machine, and then we also have an extraction card here, and this is the same for all of these things. The extraction card is then connected to this laser connector, which then transfers the items over to this laser connector. Remember, the laser connectors just extend the range. So we're basically putting 12 different lasers into this connector, then into this connector, and then into this laser back here, which is connected to the drawer controller. And that puts all of the super dense plating into the drawer network. So all we have to do now is hook this up to AE. We can just put a storage bus on high priority. And we should definitely have some extra channels. I was thinking that we were going to have to storage bus the machines themselves, but then I realized that it was going to be 8 super dense plating for every infinity catalyst. I didn't originally intend to have a drawer network over here. So yeah, we're actually only using 3 channels over here, not 14. Let's also get this a facade. And I think we're basically done here. I mean, at least until we get the creative energy battery, the power situation seems to be okay. The machines have been running here for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, and none of them have run out of power yet. So at least at the current speed, if we don't overclock them, they should be okay just to run here. And because they're passive, honestly, speed isn't really a factor here. Like, we're not in a huge hurry to get these super dense platings, which is definitely a huge benefit to doing things passively. So currently we're at 9,000 diamonds. I don't think that's going to be enough for us to finish the game, honestly. So I'm not really sure. I think it might be the case that we have to add more bees. I don't really feel like doing that right now though, so we're not going to do that right now. Oh yeah, this chest was from the dimensional miners. We should really move that over there. Yeah, this we can actually just integrate into ore processing. We want all this processed. Let's break the chest. Yeah, so before we move on today, I want to encode the recipe for the neutron collector. The extreme crafting table can't be automated, but we can still encode a recipe for it. And we're going to put this in this pattern provider right here, connected to a chest. It's actually quite a convenient location since the extreme crafting table is right here. And somewhere down here we should be able to connect to our wiring tunnels. Assuming we have some channels on this line. Yeah, we can plug in the pattern provider, and that way when we request the neutron collector, it's going to think that it can craft it by putting the items in this chest. And yeah, it's 24 blocks of diamonds for a neutron collector. But right now we only have not even an ingot. We have 8 nuggets, and we need like multiple stacks of neutronium ingots. Yeah, this is the other reason why I think that 9,000 isn't going to be anywhere near enough diamonds. I don't know how many hours I've used in the timing of all of this series, but I don't know, it's been a lot of hours. We only have 3 hours left on this thing. Wait a second. Am I going crazy, or was this like this at the beginning of the episode? But yeah, the items did appear here in the pattern provider. We can make a 3rd neutron collector. No duping that time. It was a bit slow to update, but no duping. Let's just put the other one here. You know, maybe we should just fill out this whole block here. 11 more. Or 17 if we include these 2 pedestals as well. Okay, that alone is 3,500 diamonds. And 200 nether stars, which we don't have. So yeah, I guess we can't really do that. A block of iron we're missing the recipe for. And antimatter we actually don't have hooked up. So I've just been implementing some fixes around the base, cleaning up the colony and crafting up some more neutron collectors. In fact, we can get 2 more right now. There is still many of these things we need to craft and add to our collection. I'm thinking that we go for around half a stack of these things total. I was also just about to start the process of crafting the Singularities. But really, there isn't any escaping the fact that we simply need more diamonds here. We've completely maxed out the space here for diamond bees. However, we do have 1 space on the end here which we'll probably fill with diamond. I think this one next to the blood shards is also free. We can fill it with diamond. And maybe it'll be necessary to build like 6 more apiaries, I'm not sure. Either way, I think the bees is the best way to go here. Oh man, this is going to take me hours to do this. And this time, I think I've seen some comments, we should probably make use of this copy-paste gadget. I mean, it shouldn't be that bad, right? I mean, we've already built like lots and lots of these things. I can build it with my eyes closed by now. So do you guys remember last episode when I was talking about scrambling at the end of a pack, waiting for resources? And how that's totally never going to happen here? Well, we're in a bit of a situation here. Yeah, so we've had to cut the diamond and the emerald out of the interfaces since we've, well, completely run out. And it looks like we've run out of lapis, we've run out of lead, and we've run out of silver. And this, I suppose, is the downside to doing things passively. I mean, I'm not surprised, to be honest. I just didn't think we'd run out this quickly. Like, considering how slow these machines were running, I thought it would be a very long time before we ran out of any of these. But the thing is, we really could do with the emeralds and the diamonds right now for the bee upgrades. So yeah, that's kind of why we have to be a little bit careful. I mean, it's not a huge deal, right? I'm not that concerned about it. So I did upgrade our bee situation over here for diamonds. I got this one filled, this one filled. In fact, we still have bee upgrades in there, which is why they're marked. This hive is still empty, it still needs some time. And on the end, I just decided to do a slightly bigger apiary. And this is really just the standard setup. We got a few bees in each hive. We're still waiting on more for the bee upgrade. This will spawn bees over time, 5% chance every time a comb is generated. I did connect everything up behind the hives though, probably put a little bit too much effort into this corridor back here. But I mean, we've went all out on this system, so we might as well go the extra mile right at the end here. I'm not quite sure if this is going to be enough yet, since not all the bees are inside the hives and we don't have full speed upgrades on there. So to try to address the fact that these machines are now eating all the resources, I've been trying to learn how laser IO redstone control works. It's not something I've ever used before, and it doesn't work exactly the way I expected it to work. So my plan here was to use some level emitters, and with level emitters we can read the contents of our AE system. So we could say here, for example, like if we were under 512 iron ingots, then don't send any more to this compressor. The thing is, I don't think it works on the insertion card here. Yeah, if we switch this to redstone mode high, what we expect is that it doesn't send any more in. Wait a second, am I crazy? Is this actually working as intended? Oh no, wait a second. No, this is what happened before, yeah. If we turn this off and invert it so that there's no redstone signal, it still doesn't insert anything. Yeah, so it's expecting to find a redstone signal which it can't actually receive. I wonder if we can fix that with the redstone card though. So these lasers are very sided, which is actually a good thing for us. The redstone cards though can only accept redstone from one side. What happens now when we invert it again? Aha! So it does work. Okay, so we just needed the redstone card. I didn't try this the first time round. Aha, so now we know that the redstone card can input and output a redstone signal. And I guess you have to have that on there if you want an adjacent signal to pass through the laser. Yeah, let's just verify this again. So redstone mode high for iron ingots. Let's invert this again. So it shouldn't send any more iron now that the redstone signal is off. Yes, perfect. Well, I guess it does work with redstone then. Alright, everything should now be online, including this portal that's about to spawn right here. There it is. So we got level emitters on all of these machines, which means that we should be able to stock control how many of these get sent into the compressors, and not go through all of our resources on these things, since we can't turn them back once they're already super dense plating. Most of the numbers I've set here is just 512 ingots, besides the redstone, emerald, and diamond, which are slightly higher. Maybe I'm going to increase this to 2048. They all emit when redstone levels are above. And you know what? I actually forgot to set redstone mode high. That could have been a big disaster. Yeah, redstone card and all, and emit redstone high on the insertion. And the cool thing about this is we can actually put facades on here to completely hide the level emitters. Yeah, fancy. I like it. Anyways, I think it's about time we wrap up this episode. I did get more neutron collectors here. We are currently at 4 ingots of neutronium, which is nowhere near enough. We need to get a lot more of these things. We also, as it turns out, have completely run through the genie miners, apart from the original Unbreaking 10 one. Unbreaking 11. Yeah, the rest here are all broken, so we need to replace those, and probably also think about another way to generate ores. We're going to need a lot of resources. Anyways, that is going to do us for today. Thank you guys once again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Inferno.